Alright, here we are for round number 3 after a poorly played round number 2. I'm going to keep this hand. It's very good. Yeah, so you could see the differences in how punishing this deck is. I didn't cast Chainer's Edict one turn, and then I lost the game because I cast Thing twice instead of Chainer's Edict. And then also in game 1, I lost the game because I cast my my edict right away, and that lost me the game in that game. So it's really tough with this deck it's tough to get everything right. We got a pretty good draw here. I've got a Chainer's Edict, and then I can shuffle stuff away if that stuff is bad. Like I've got the Brainstorm plus Shuffle effect, so that's pretty good. See what my opponent wants to do here. All right. Probably gonna, okay, we've got a great hand against, our hand is officially great now against Affinity. I'll probably shuffle away the 7 card Justice here, and I'm gonna keep this other stuff. Depends on what they play though. Being on the play is a huge deal. Now my opponent can't just spew a bunch of stuff off at me. They're just casting a Frogmite. Even though they have a Frogmite, I don't think I want to cast Avant-Card Justice or anything like that. Yeah, let's get rid of the Avant-Card Justice, and I think I'll get rid of the Brainstorm. Maybe I just want to draw that stuff. What to do, what to do. Kind of want to play my Talisman this turn, so I kind of want to shuffle now. Yeah, I don't think I need the Brainstorm for anything, so I'm going to go ahead and get a Swamp with this. Alright, we drew the Avant-Card Justice anyway, because, I don't know, that's what happens on Magic Online. I guess I'll play the Radiant Fountain first, then I'll run out this Pristine Talisman. Maybe I should have kept that Brainstorm and then use the mana from Pristine Talisman to shuffle. That was probably a better play, to keep that Brainstorm in my hand. I'm glad I have this 7 card Justice now. Our opponent is just full of like cheap stuff that would eat up our Edict quickly with no problems. So I basically like messed up everything about that Brainstorm and got bailed out by the deck, it looks like, so far. How many 4/4s are we going to see? All right, all right. That's a good one for us. Forger, yep. Forger's fine. So gonna sweep up all that other stuff. And our opponent's gonna have one creature on the board and 2 cards in hand. No buyback, but that's okay. So we're looking pretty good here. I don't think our opponent is going to be able to come back unless they have like multiple thought casts, which isn't what they have. So I'm going to kill both these guys and we'll be sitting pretty. I would be worried maybe about Atog, but they can't actually like play an Atog and fling it or anything. They can't do anything with it right now. They can't even cast it at this point. I'm gonna let them try to equip that guy since they sacrificed the other one. All right. He's attacking. Doomblade it. Plunk. Let's go ahead and think twice, see if I can hit a land here. I think I'll just flash it back. I don't really need to hold up the mana for anything. Technically don't have an answer to an Atog right now, but I will. Alright, yeah, it's just teachings for a Doomblade here. I'll actually just let that hit me once, though. I want to hold up this false summoning, so I shouldn't have probably done that. Playing a little loosey-goosey because we're so far ahead, and that's never a good idea against Affinity. Like, my opponent could just Thought Cast here. I could just lose the game. Like, Thought Cast into Atog Fling, and I'm dead. Alright. Now we're looking good. Brainstorm, hopefully I can find a land. And I did. Let's put Disfigure and Talisman on top. Play the Boneyard, pass the turn. Alright. Opponent's got nothing. Just gonna think twice with flashback. Gonna play my Pristine Talisman this turn. Yep, still gonna play the Pristine Talisman. I've got double counterspell up. Not overly worried about anything that they can do. Yeah, counter that guy. I'll counter the next guy too. Nope. They don't have a next guy. Radiant Fountain seems good. Let's go ahead and play this Pieces of the Puzzle. Still have counters up for 2 creatures. Get another Pieces and a Full Summoning. Pass turn here. So I've got this Chainer's Edict flashback. It's just Full Summoning this guy. I got the Chainer's Edict flashback and the Mystical Teachings chilling here. My opponent, if he's just drawing 1 threat a turn, should not be just throwing them into my counterspells. Should wait until he got all the way up until 7 spells. Once you get against Teachings, that's what you should start doing. Let's piece it and see what we find here. Alright, I guess I'll grab the Exclude and the Devour Flesh. Put another Teachings in the graveyard. Alright. Opponent caught on. Not casting anything. I don't need the life from Crypt Incursion. They're not going to be able to burn me out here. And I have seen some of these decks play Reaping the Grave, so nice to get that stuff out of there. Okay. This is a Thought Cast. I'll let a Thought Cast resolve. 2. Don't want to have to discard, so I'm not flashing back my Teachings or anything like that. We're still pretty far at this point from being able to win the game, but we are in prime position to not lose the game, that's for sure. I don't care about the card draw spells at all. Sacrifice whatever they want. Probably a Citadel. Flare Husk, that's interesting. That's actually a decent card against us, like the Disfigure. I don't think they need all these lands for anything. Drum does nothing. Alright, gain 2 life, pass the turn. We've pretty much locked this one up. You could probably just skip to the sideboarding, but I'm going to keep playing this just in case. Like, our opponent is... our opponent could build up a whole hand of stuff and resolve it all at once. Like, I only have 4 blue sources at the moment. So what am I hoping to draw? Dimir Aqueduct would be a great draw. Just want to draw lands. Cool. Ask and you shall receive. I guess I'll just pick up the Radiant Fountain, get some more life. Fine with me. So star, nothing. Actually, this is what they should really do, is just fill their board with stars so they can cast even more than 7 spells in a turn. Try to get some of them through. So I guess I want another Dimir Aqueduct. Opponent's kind of taking a long time to pass a turn in their own end step. Alright, cool, another awkward counterspell, just what I wanted. I'm gonna have to discard next turn, so I'm just gonna Fairy Trickery that guy. I don't like having to discard, and I don't want to give them access to more cards if I don't have to. Alright, this is their time to strike. They've selected it carefully. They're ready to spew off all their creatures with reckless abandon. We've got all these ATOGs that are going to get excluded. Just over and over. Yep, we win. Cool. So against this deck, I like to bring in my Duresses, and I like to bring in the Hydroblasts. Stuff I like to take out. I like to take out a lot of the stuff that only kills small things. So I'll take out one Justice. I'd like to take out the slow counterspell, so like I don't want this Fairy Trickery. Don't want Complete Disregard. Don't want Cower and Fear. Crypt Incursion, only okay. This Disrupt might be kind of sweet, but I'll cut that too. It's just a little awkward. And then I'm gonna cut one Disfigure. Actually, yeah, the Disfigure is worse than... Disfigure is better than Agony Warp, I think. No, sometimes Agony Warp can kill a Frogmite plus shrink something else. So, might want to keep that in. Alright, this seems pretty good. I don't think I want stuff like Zombie Outlander to block Carapace Forgers or anything like that. It's possible I want some Dispels. They actually have a lot of instants in their deck. Bring in one more Dispel, because I don't want quite this many, like, I don't want Deprive, so cut that. I don't really want Crypt Incursion either. I don't know. I sideboard differently every time. All the cards are, like, so similar. Alright, this hand looks great against them. Obviously it's bad against Flare Husk, so hopefully they don't have any of those. They didn't have one right away. So we're off to a good start. See what they have here. If it's a Forger, I'll probably just kill it with Innocent Blood. Obviously if it's that, I'm not going to do anything about it. Hit them with the Duress, see what they've got in their hand. Nothing. That's crazy. This deck plays so many non-creature spells. Like 20. At least 20, right? They only drew one in their top 10 cards. Oh well. So we're going to fall a little behind. They're going to get to play a ton of stuff this turn. Yeah. So they got to play 12 power on turn 3 before I got a turn 2. So not too pleased with that. I pretty much just have to double Innocent Blood, I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm dead. Being on the draw means that I lost. To kind of, like, this isn't like the nut draw, but it's a pretty good draw for them. Like, they could have had more Mirror Enforcers. Yeah, we can just concede. I don't have to keep playing this. Alright. Let's move on to the next game. Yeah. Let's just run it back. Didn't see anything that made me want to change anything in there. Yes, I would like to play first. This hand's kind of bad. Yeah, it's too bad. This hand's also really bad. Jeez. I think I'm going to keep this because I have outs to draw good stuff, but this is a bad hand. It's good against like all these double, triple Frogmite hands my opponent's been having, so maybe they'll have another one of those. My hand was so good last game too. I had a Duress into double Innocent Blood, but my opponent just had lethal on turn 5 through that, no matter what I drew. They're gonna hit me for 8 and play an ATOG at a minimum, and there's nothing I could do to get out of that. All right, I'm gonna keep this one. It's not great. Hopefully they mulligan down to like 2. I think you have to keep that with this really weak hand. They mulligan, so hopefully they're a little slower. I'm also going to represent Counterspell on turn 2. See if that scares them off. Springleaf Drum is probably the best turn 1 for the deck. See what they have on turn 2. Star, how many free Frogmites? Play like a lot of Frogmites, like 2 more. No? That's not a Frogmite. I think I'm gonna... Oh, I'll let that resolve, because if they play another Frogmite right after, I'm gonna want to kill it. Okay, paid off. Another one. Play one more. No? Alright, so hopefully they don't have any way to stop this in their hand. Galvanic Blast can save one Frogmite. Dispel obviously could save them both. Alright, alright. Our opponent had all these Frogmites both games. Gonna counter not a Thoughtcast, but pretty much any like creature. Man. Thoughtcast isn't the best card in the matchup, but it's the best card in the deck for sure. Alright, we made it to turn 4 to Teachings, so things are going well so far. We are definitely behind our opponent though. They have a lot more cards than us. Another Frogmite isn't scary. Ugh. So much card advantage, it's not fair. Alright, Ichor Wellspring, not a big deal. Alright, so what am I going to get here? I think I'll just get a Counterspell. I'm not afraid of the Frogmite sitting in play for a while. Rather just have an answer to whatever they draw next. I guess I'll play the Radiant Fountain. So drawing the Counterspell was good, but drawing these extra lands has not been good. Normally I do want to draw land like every turn of the game with this deck, but I could really use some spells here. Hopefully I just pass the turn. Green. Pretty much have to counter this because I can't beat it. So now if they have an ATOG here, I'm going to lose. Unless I draw something good. Alright, they're not willing to play something into a possible exclude. Think Twice would have been a great draw last turn. Not so good this turn. Yeah, so I'm probably going to flashback the Teachings this turn, kind of no matter what happens. And I'm going to Teachings for Teachings. Alright, that worked. Chainer's Edict is a pretty good draw. Let's go ahead and cast that. I could have cast Teachings for Disfigure and hit the Frogmite and then Chainer's Edicted away this Mirror Enforcer. But I would rather Teachings for like a Hydroblast in case my opponent has an ATOG. Really don't want to die to an ATOG here. Prophetic Prism's fine, doesn't do anything. 2 mana, do nothing. Alright. Mirror Enforcer is fine. I think I'm actually going to think twice and flash it back here if they play nothing. It's looking kind of like an ATOG though. Yep. Alright, we're getting Hydroblast. Where did my Hydroblast go? There's a bunch of them. Okay. So hopefully that takes care of that. That's a pretty good draw. So now I can keep my Chainer's Edict in the graveyard and I can cast my Think Twice and flashback Teachings if I need to. Forger's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and get another Teachings. Alright, we're drawing these at just the right time. Looks like we'll probably have this one locked up, I think, unless they have a very good couple cards. So they need to have like an ATOG plus a counterspell. I'm actually going to counter this Oh, Gear Seeker. No, I'll let that resolve. I'll just Devour Flesh it or Doomblade it. I'll Devour Flesh it. All right. It's looking like we're gonna be able to gain a ton of life if I ever get to Crypt Incursion here. Gonna get a swamp with this one. All right, awesome. So if they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 only. Okay. Good, teachings for teachings. Echoing Decay, not exactly a card. Just go ahead and flashback the Edict on this guy. Alright, so I need them to miss one turn here. I could die, and it was maybe unnecessarily risky, but I didn't want to take 4. Okay, they missed completely, so that should pretty much lock it up for us. Yep, Frogmite. Frogmite can get hit by another Echoing Decay just like it did before. Gonna go ahead and think twice with flashback now. Finally have a chance to do that. I'm actually gonna Bojuka Bog myself here. I don't have anything in my graveyard worth value, and I might want to Crypt Incursion them later. Now I can finally get Exclude with my teachings. So is my Whispers of the Muse gone? No, looks like I still have that. I'd really like to exclude that card. I think I'll just counter it. Yeah, I'll just counter it. Probably going to shuffle away this Boneyard now. Yep, I'd rather keep the Aqueduct. Is that my last teachings? Looks like it was. Let's go ahead and grab and exclude then. Drew Whispers in the Muse, not bad. So none of their non-creature spells really matter, so I think it's okay to grab the exclude. The only one that would be an issue is if they got that card that lets you sacrifice an Ichor Wellspring and draw like a bunch of cards. Let's go teachings. I'm gonna grab a Dispel, so I can start casting Whispers of the Muse without fear. All right, looks like we locked this one up. I'd recommend going to the next match. At this point, I don't think we can really lose this one, no matter how hard I might try. They've only got two Atogs left, and I've got a Hydroblast for the first one. My opponent is fighting the good fight, though. They're still battling. Yep, Prophetic Prism resolves. We're way ahead on time. They've got all these dead cards in their deck that just don't do anything. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and discard Avant-Garde Justice. It just is not an important card. The lands are more important. Our opponent will mill themselves before I mill, for sure, so no real reason to do anything different here. Card's actually kind of annoying. Eats up an Innocent Blood. I mean, it doesn't do anything, but I'm gonna have to kill it. And I just got rid of my Avant-Garde Justice. I could have killed it for free. I'm gonna bog myself while I still have nothing in my graveyard of significance. I'll still go ahead and discard pieces of the puzzle. I don't need card draw, I have enough of it. So we're just chilling here. Opponent did get to hit us for 1 this turn. I'm gonna save my Innocent Blood. I'll kill this with something else, like a Disfigure or Repeal. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff that kills it. And I'm willing to go down to one land in play, or 1 mana, to cast another Whispers. I don't think they've got two spells here. So I drew the Disfigure. Goodbye, Germ. Nice knowing ya. Just discard the Think Twice. My opponent should really take off some of their stops here so that they stop wasting so much time. Let's exclude that guy. Could just Innocent Blood him to death, but no real reason to do that. Yeah, geez, my opponent's taking a long time here. Is this the turn they decided to go for it? So let's Hydroblast the ATOG. Let's go ahead and false summoning the ATOG. They've only got 1 card left, and I have a Dispel that they know about. So, still safe here. Alright. I do have to find 1 more answer to another ATOG at this point. They have 1 left in their deck. I have an answer for both a resolved ATOG that needs to attack, and I have an answer for Fling. But I don't have an answer for an ATOG sacking this Ichor Wellspring and then finding a Dispel or whatever and flinging me. Okay, we found our Capsize. I just want to find another counterspell. I could cast Pieces of the Puzzle to find one, but I don't think I need to. Yep, Flare Husk resolves. I'll just Capsize the Germ. They could fling it. That's okay if that's something they want to do. I don't mind losing Capsize. It's not really a card I need to have. I guess I could start hitting their lands now. Just gonna play this Ash Barrens when the time comes. So I know they still have a Great Furnace in hand. Otherwise I don't really know what they have. We're gonna be here a while, folks. If they want to use one of their precious Dispels to get rid of my Capsize, they can go right ahead. I'll tap right out for it. Okay, we got a Duress. See what they have. Nothing. Alright, we got him. So I'm like 9-1 now against Affinity with this deck. Traditionally it's been a bad matchup for Teachings, but not the case with this deck, so I don't know what the difference is. Probably just the extra edicts I have, but yeah, Affinity's been pretty easy for me so far. Alright, we're 2-1. Threw away a match probably. Should be 3-0. Let's move on to the 4th round.